Hey, I'm about to tell you exactly how much money I made from my ASMR YouTube channel in my first year. I posted my very first video to this channel on the 25th of November 2024. We are now almost exactly 1 year on. This video is going to come out on the 24th of November 2025. And I was just reflecting on my first year, and I decided to break down for you exactly how much money I made on YouTube during that time. So why am I telling you this? Well, I spent almost the entirety of last year deciding whether or not to start this channel. I spent the first half of the year debating whether to do YouTube at all, and after I eventually decided that I would do that and set my channel up in June 2024, I then spent a further 5 months planning what I actually wanted the channel to look like before I even posted a single video at the end of November that year. And I watched some videos similar to this during that time, but I felt like I couldn't really find too much. I certainly couldn't find anything that felt really full, frank disclosure, and I also couldn't really find anything relating to ASMR channels, which are quite distinct from other channels, and that's a point I will circle back to in a bit. So if you're intrigued and want to know everything, strap in because I'm about to tell you. So broadly speaking, to make money on YouTube, you have to fulfill the criteria to be monetized, which is to have 1,000 subscribers to your channel and have 4,000 hours worth of watch time on your videos, which is basically the accumulation of time that people have spent watching videos. So I got 1,000 subscribers on the 22nd of December 2024, so pretty much a month after I started posting. And then it took me a further month after that until the 25th of January 2025 to reach the 4,000 hour watch time requirement. And it's only from that point onwards that I actually started making any money from my videos. So I'm just going to take you through now exactly what I made month on month. I'm just going to pull up my YouTube analytics and show that to you. So these figures in YouTube analytics, they capture both ad revenue and any money from tips via Superthanks on YouTube, but I will circle back to tips in a little bit. So of course in November, December, and for the most part of January, I had not yet fulfilled the monetization criteria, and therefore I made no money on YouTube. But at the very end of January, my monetization status kicked in. So I'm pleased to say, in January, I made, drumroll please, 89p. What can I say? Drinks on me. Then February, which was my first full month monetized, I made £58.74. Then going through to March, £131.27. April, £163.28. Then May, £214.33. June, £260.84. July, £328.53. So as my channel's grown across this time and pulled in more views, the revenue has generally increased in conjunction with that. So obviously at this stage I'm thinking, oh my god, I can retire early after all, until August. £274.21. So never mind, I will keep my notice crumpled up somewhere in the bottom of my bag. So a slight step back here, but in swoops September, to make up for it with a little sugar daddy month, coming in at September, £553.85. So as you can see, even just from the graph, but also the figures I've just told you, that's double what I would normally get. I had a couple of videos I released in September that did significantly better than my content usually does. which is what caused that, I can assure you, temporary surge in September. It's not actually because I found an old rich man, but if anybody happens to know any of those, let me know. And then finally, to bring the year to a close, so if we run from November through to end of October, October was £332.20. Now, the YouTube estimate of what you'll make in analytics is slightly different to what actually then goes into the bank. So in the bank in total, I received £1,985.62. Now, I mentioned that ASMR channels are distinct from other channels when it comes to revenue. And what did I mean by that? Well, you don't get paid by YouTube just for being on YouTube. You get paid a cut of the revenue from the ads that are played on your videos. So, kind of broadly speaking, in theory, the more views you get equates to more people watching the ads, which equates to more money. And as I'm sure you've noticed by now, most videos on YouTube run ad breaks during the videos because that's how they make money. But here's the catch with making ASMR. You can't really do that. Well, technically you can, but it's not really appropriate to do so. ASMR is not really the type of content that you can just cut and go to an ad break. I feel like it ruins it in a lot of ways. It ruins, one, the video that I've spent loads of time and effort making. It completely ruins that as a kind of finished immersive product. And also viewers on ASMR, quite rightly so, don't expect ad interruptions during those videos. And I would agree with that. So this can be a bit of a nightmare when you're starting out, because until you've reached that criteria of having the 1,000 subscribers and the watch time, you have no control over ads running on your videos whatsoever. You can't control when they play, how many of them play. That's completely dictated by YouTube. It automatically does whatever it's going to do, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. And of course, if you're not monetized, you're not seeing any benefit from that. Like, you don't get any of the revenue from those ads playing on your videos. Okay, why have I gone off on what feels like a bit of a tangent about this? It's relevant because basically every other type of creator that I can think of basically has the opportunity to make more revenue than an ASMR channel ever could. Because if you can add ad breaks to your videos and it makes sense to do that and it's not too disruptive, then obviously that's further opportunities in which to make money. But you don't have the opportunity to do that with ASMR. You have one chance for ads, and that is the ads that play before your videos start. After that, and the video starts rolling, in my opinion, you can forget it. YouTube likes to constantly remind me in my analytics dashboard. The latest pop-up was I could make up to 40% more money if I enabled ads to play during my videos. And obviously it's in YouTube's own interest to keep flashing up on my YouTube analytics with that message, because it's not just me that I'm cutting off from revenue by refusing to play those ads in my videos. It's also YouTube. Now, I'm not saying that because there's any danger of me enabling that function and wanting to run those ads on my videos. I don't want to do that. I think it would completely ruin all the work I put into them. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because if you're thinking of starting an ASMR channel, just keep in mind that your potential to earn money from making that kind of content compared to a different kind of content is a little bit more restricted for that reason. And if you've watched other videos of people telling you how much money they made and you're kind of trying to size up their channel compared to how much money they made, just bear in mind that those ads playing, they do make a difference. They add up. And that's not to put anybody off from making ASMR or starting an ASMR channel if you're thinking that's something that you want to do. Quite the opposite, I'm putting this video out there because there might be people that are in the same position that I was this time last year, deciding whether or not to do this and what it was going to look like. So it's just a reality check. But obviously keep in mind, I'm a very, very, very small channel and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But rather shamelessly, I will be running ads during this video because it's one of the only opportunities in which I actually can. Did you get it? Did it work? We still here? Okay, good. I'm not sorry. Okay, so back to the money and returning to the point on tips. Now, I do have Superthanks enabled on my YouTube channel. I've debated switching that off quite a few times, to be completely honest, because I feel bad when somebody leaves a tip via Superthanks because YouTube takes 30% of that tip, and I feel bad for, well, one, me, but two, also the person that left the tip, that probably doesn't realise that 30% of the money actually goes to YouTube as a high percentage. So I set up a BuyMeACoffee page for any tips, not expecting anybody to actually venture on over there. But I set up BuyMeACoffee because they take 5% cut of the tip in order to kind of like host the page and handle the transaction. I think that's perfectly reasonable. So yeah, people left me tips over on BuyMeACoffee, and the concept of somebody leaving me a tip still absolutely blows my mind, to be honest. It's kind of crazy that people would be so generous to spend their, what I'm sure are very hard-earned wages on that. But in total, in BuyMeACoffee tips across the year, I made an extra £382.48. So those coffees really added up. And this brings my grand total in my first year as an ASMR channel on YouTube to £2,368.10. Mum, I'm famous! But here's the catch. I wish I could have just cut the video at that juncture, cut the show. But I kind of spent all that money in order to get here. So look, I try not to think of money spent on the channel as money out, but rather an investment. An investment into the future of the channel. Is that a coping mechanism for me to deal with the numbers that I'm about to reveal to you? Yes, absolutely it is. Now, I have been trying to run my channel on as much of a budget as possible. I try to be economical where I can. For example, I film videos just on my phone. And try not to buy things unless I have to, but have I stuck to that? Okay, look, if I'm being honest, no. I'm just going to run you through some of the items on my little cost spreadsheet real quick. So the mic. This was a non-negotiable piece of kit, as far as I'm concerned. It's actually the very first purchase that I made. Because it's an ASMR channel, we need to have good sound. So I didn't get anything crazy expensive. My God, you could get some really expensive microphones if you wanted to. This wasn't anything crazy. Super common mic for ASMR and also YouTube channels in general. It's just the Blue Yeti, and that came in at £108. Then I brought a laptop. Because the one that I had was about 8 years old. It physically wasn't capable of running any kind of video editing software whatsoever. I tried everything to get it to work and then eventually admitted defeat and accepted that I would just, if I wanted to do this, I just had to buy something. So I didn't get anything crazy. I got a mid-range laptop. Is it the best? No. But does it work? Yes, it's got decent amount of storage, and it can run, this was the main thing, I just needed it to run video editing software and enable me to edit and upload my videos. So that came in at £549. Then I have a video editing subscription with Adobe Premiere Pro that costs £22 a month. I invested in a green screen. I made the mistake of buying cheap and buying twice on that one, which is not a mistake I will repeat. So my first green screen came in at £37.99. It was completely not, it wasn't workable, terrible quality. The second green screen is insanely good and user-friendly, and that came in at a further £139.99. Yeah, that was actually discount. It was meant to be about 180. So I kind of balanced myself back out from the earlier rubbish purchase and just bought the good one at the full price. I also spent a total of £106 on lighting of you can see that one. Lighting of various forms. And then, just bits of kit, leads, stands, all this stuff in the background that you don't see, plus more props and costumes than I maybe even dare to admit. And that's the one that really catches me out, because it feels like it's not a lot at the time, like 10 here, 20 here, and it really adds up. I brought so much stuff. Like, I've actually got a couple of them to show you. So a stethoscope, these vampire fangs, which were actually so good, by the way. These worked so well. I did a video with these recently. They looked super realistic. Well, as realistic as plasticky fangs are gonna get. Very good. And just little costume bits as well, like fake glasses. Gotcha. So yeah, you get the gist. There's expenditure. And I have this whole spreadsheet that logs literally every little last teeny tiny detail for the tax man, with all of my receipts and stuff. So in total, I have spent £2,529.61. Fuck's sake, man. Which means in my first year as a small ASMR creator on YouTube, I've made a loss of £161.51, which leads me to today's sponsor, my overdraft. No, I'm joking. Which leads me to my next point of, was it worth it? Yeah. I have far exceeded anything that I thought I could possibly achieve within 1 year on YouTube. The original goal I'd set for myself was to reach 1,000 subscribers in my first year. That was a milestone that I really wanted to hit in year one. I hadn't thought any bigger than that. I hadn't crossed my mind that I might get more than 1,000 subscribers, and it certainly hadn't crossed my mind that I'd be making any money. Certainly not in my first year, and potentially not ever. So to be in the position that I'm in now, where I have a channel that I've still got a lot of things to figure out, but I feel like I know what I'm doing now. I have some really great subscribers, and I'm so grateful to have. And I've got my kit. I've got my setup. I think a lot of the things I had to spend money on and buy were all kind of big ticket items. The geese have started squawking or whatever they're doing, sorry. They do this when I'm filming ASMR, by the way, and it kills me because I have to basically go and start the thing again. Are they done? Okay, they're done. What was I saying? So touch wood, I won't have this level of expenditure again. And yeah, I mean, at the time when I started posting, I was just in a stage in my life where I was just willing to take a chance and give it a go. So to come out of it in the first year in the position that I am now, where I've kind of built the channel up to where it is, and I've almost broke even on my investments, I'm buzzing with this. So happy anniversary to us. Now, I don't usually make videos of this nature. This is an ASMR channel. So if you are new to the channel on this video, but you enjoy ASMR, in particular if you are mentally deranged, and would enjoy seeing me play a range of unhinged characters that tend to bully and insult you while whispering in your ear and tapping on stuff, you're in the right place. Welcome home. Would love to have you. Good luck to any fellow creators out there or aspiring creators. I hope that this was insightful, and to anybody that just clicked on for the intel, thanks for watching.